felt she couldn't lie straight in bed.
Nearly on.
Are we ready to go?
Yep, I'll just use the grab for something. Welcome everybody. Declare the meeting open and remind everyone that we will be recording the meeting under our policy to allow for live streaming and assist in the doing of the minutes. I will remind everybody to have their mobile phones turned to silent throughout the meeting, please. Circular Head Council acknowledges the Northwest Tasmanian Aboriginal people as the traditional custodians of the country on which we stand, meet and play. We recognise their continuing connection to the land, waters and community. We pay respects to elders, past, present and emerging. Attendance, a late apology from Councillor Poposky. The leave of absence previously approved, Councillor Flowers is here and we need to have Councillor Pilkington on that list. Noted, please, thank you. I'll ask the upstanding for prayers, please.
Let us take a moment to clear our minds and focus on achieving outcomes that serve the greater good of the whole community. May light illuminate all present and support everyone to bring their highest and best selves to the debate and the decisions made here tonight.
Thank you, Councillor. 2.1, if I could have a mover and a second that the minutes of the Ordinary Council meeting held on the 19th of February be confirmed as a jury record. Thanks, Councillor Dabner. Seconded by Councillor Collins. No debate. Yes. Councillor Hine?
On page 30, where we've allocated the heavy vehicle tax, I wonder whether it'd be convenient to, or would it be appropriate to split it in two sections, because we normally get within the minutes.
Point of order.
Yeah, but we can't change what's in the minutes. That's what happened at that meeting. You'll have to bring that up at a later date.
Righto, thanks. Rather than...
Well, we're confirming what happened at the last meeting.
Yep, righto, good. Yep, thank you.
So, no further. I'll put the motion. Those in favour?
Thank you.
Against? Carried. 3.0. Declarations of interest. 4.1. Mayor's communications. There's a few bits there. Is there any questions on any of those? Yes, Councillor Hine?
Western Management Committee meeting, what took place there, and
which is
third one down.
Oh, it's a standard quarterly meeting. I think
Yes.
It's quarterly meeting.
Quarterly.
Where the Wynyard Burney Circular Council and the staff and around the emergency management, if there is an emergency, plus police, plus ambulance, plus SES, all get together to see what's happening in that area.
Thank you.
Councillor Flowers, yeah, stay down. Flowers.
Meeting with Annette Dow, what was that?
Just a general catch-up. Nothing specific. She was up here, not up here doing something, so she just touched base and just a general chat, that was all.
And Circular Aboriginal Corporation?
Same thing. They actually contacted us to for catch-up.
Yep.
So me and Paul went down and just turned into a 3/4 of an hour chat about what we're doing, what they're doing, that type of thing. So it was just a general catch-up, nothing, no specific individual item. And
Greenham's, is that an update on what they're proposing to do?
That was from their, project manager of what they're doing, giving us an idea of where they're going and what they're doing and where they're at with that. So it's, yes, an update on where they are.
Have they got any like timelines when they wish to start?
The planning process is being undertaken at the moment. There's a lot of consultation occurring with Department of State Growth around the access, and I'm also in conversations with them separately about engaging with local trades and the local chambers of commerce. So there's a heavy focus on local consultation at the moment. Because of some of the compliance and resourcing limitations at the moment, they're not locking down any particular dates for commencement of the work.
I don't know whether you know, are they going to increase numbers, like kill numbers?
The indications are not greatly, but they will be able to handle. Yes, but not greatly, but they'll be able to handle the big stuff. When it's upgraded, they won't have to move their big stuff out. They'll be able to do that here.
The effluent ponds will handle.
That's not got that far yet.
Yep, no, that's okay. No worries, thank you.
Councillor Oldacre.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The meeting with the freight egalisation with the federal member Chisholm.
Yeah, the mayors. I was trying to think. Most of the Northwest mayors there. I don't think. Yeah, most of the Northwest mayors there, and Anne Urquhart had arranged it, and it was really just to.
Comes with your phone out the car. Sorry about that. Cool, righto. Sorry. You'll do it too.
There'd been
$50.
Council. It was. I was trying to think of his name. Senator Chisholm.
Yeah.
Who's from Queensland, but there is roots to our area actually, but that's a side point. Was going around because they had the big round table happening in Canberra shortly, and it's picking up all the bits and pieces around the importance, I suppose, of freight equalisation, especially into rural areas. The King Island Mayor spoke very passionately, as you could imagine, about that. My position was very similar to him, only the numbers were slightly different, is that the need for them to maintain that as the highway assistance was very important, but I'm not sure where it's gone from now. It was really information gathering that meeting.
That's all right.
You look like you want to say something else.
Well, I was thinking aloud, but anyway, it's not the time to raise.
Councillor Collins?
I was going to ask about what Mr Oldacre asked, but I'll also ask about Circular Head State Grants Commission meeting. What can you tell us?
They come around every couple of years and they give a rundown. There was Duncan, Rachel, Paul, Ella was in the meeting, and they give a rundown of and ask where we're at, what we think of their breakups, anything that's on the horizon type stuff. It was that sort of general chat about the breakup of the grants and different things. Obviously, heavy duty got a bit of a mention from here, and a couple of other bits like that. So.
Thank you.
Councillor Oldacre?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The rural school meeting. Now, what's generally happened in the past when that rural school, they've generally come to the full council and told them what's going on to give everybody an understanding of it. So somebody decided it's only going to talk to you, or is it?
No, this is slightly different. In the past, because Rotary has actually hosted the third year, I think it is, whatever they come out, and they've been part of this. This is actually the whole school, which they've got 120 first to fifth year doctors, some nurses, some pharmacists, and basically it was a mingle thing. You got to mingle around, have a chat to them. There was 3 or 4 with links down here, which was good to see. It created the ability, I suppose, in Burnie that they don't have to travel too far to be able to get this medical training. So.
Speed dating.
Speed dating, yeah. And there's too many of them to get to every one of them now. Yes, Councillor Hine, you look like you're
clean. On your three occasions, the community activation group, 2 times you've dropped in standing 2 days in a row. What's the report and what was the outcome of that?
3rd of March.
Yeah, there's only one day in Stanley though. There's a small error there.
It's down there for the 3rd and the 4th.
One of them was in Smithton.
No, it's got Stanley.
That's
Stanley.
Yeah, I can see that there, but one
Oh,
of them
Smithton.
was in Smithton.
Oh, righto.
They're groups that Amber's, under Paul's direction, has been trying to get together as a sounding board type, information type groups out of both Stanley and Smithton. So I just, Anne was running and I just dropped in and said good day, basically.
How many people turned up?
How many people turned up? Not many to the Smithton one, there was 4 or 5 to the Stanley one. She had other expressions of interest apart from the ones that have turned into the drop-in zone.
Thank you. While I'm on my feet, the Director of Economic Regulator, I was at that, but do you want to sort of report that to the other members at all?
I'm trying to think, to be honest.
Through you, Mr Mayor, I am maybe a little concerned about some of the content of that meeting may be subject to some privilege because of the nature of the discussion.
I was just going to say, that needs to be asked in closed session.
Yep, thanks, Councillor Oldacre, thanks, Paul. No more? Yep. Yes, certainly, I'm crossing out. I went blank. If I could have a move and a second, that they be noted.
So moved.
Thanks, Councillor Oldacre, second, Councillor Hine. Put the motion, those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. We've got some workshop stuff there. What we covered in the workshop, if there's no questions on that, could I have a move and a second that they be noted, please?
So moved.
Thanks, Councillor Oldacre, second the Deputy Mayor. Put the motion, those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Public questions we haven't got. Now, councillors, we will move into planning for the purpose of dealing with 6.1. And I'll pass.
Mr Mayor, you want to deal with 6.1, but you've still got to deal with 5 first.
5 is public questions.
Statements, responses.
I didn't see him then.
Oh.
He's nothing late. No. Thanks, Councillor Oldacre, I didn't see him in there. The chairs are too high now.
Can't see through my...
Thanks, Councillor Oldacre. Right, we'll go to 6.1 and remind councillors that for this resolution, we are sitting as a planning authority.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. As the table will recollect from previous conversations around council delegations under Land Use and Planning and Approvals Act, when there is a change to council delegations pertaining to the approvals or decision making specific to planning issues, a report needs to be brought to this table. You'll also recollect that it was first brought back in January and then again in February. This is as a result of the appointment of my colleague here next to me, Estrella Dixon, who's our Director of Planning and Development Services, and these are the delegations to allow her to undertake that role. And for your approval and discussion.
Thanks, Paul. There's no questions on that, I presume. We've been through it a couple of times. Can I have a move and a second? Thanks, Councillor Davin, a second, Councillor Flowers. No debate. Put the motion. Those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thanks, councillors. We're now returning to our council meeting or standing orders. 7.1, there's a couple of questions from Councillor Oldacre there with some responses. .3, councillor questions without notice. Okay. Councillor Flowers. Councillor, you can stay sitting down.
We
Way too uncomfortable to see you stand.
we had a spraying 2 sections or 3 sections put out where we weren't going to spray the shoulders as a
This is the trial.
trial. Yeah, can someone inform us how that's going? Or
I'll probably have to go to Michael.
Yeah, through you, Mayor. We'll have to take that on notice, get back to the details and how things are tracking with that. I don't have that on.
yeah, no, it's okay. No worries.
Thank you. No further questions? Okay, no notice of motions. 9.1, community grants. Duncanson.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yep, on behalf of the Connected Communities team, I'd like to present the proposed successful applicants for round 2 of the 25-26 community grant scheme. We've got 4 applicants totalled there that were workshopped on the 5th of March for a total of $9,755.
Okay, any questions? We did workshop that pretty thoroughly. If not, could I have a move and a second? Thanks, Councillor Oldacre, second, Councillor Hine. No debate? Put the motion, those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Financial report. Done.
Mr. Mayor again, I'd like to present the financial statements for the month of February 2026. Finished the month with a comprehensive result of $2.3 million compared to a amended budget result year to date of $2.2 million. The presented financials show the amended budget comparison column, which was amended budget was put through the council meeting in February. Council finished the month with net assets of $314 million. A point to note was that the net rate debtor balance closed at $1.6 million with final rates instalments on the 28th of February, and this was compared to a balance of $1.7 million at the same time last year.
Any questions to Duncan? If not, if I move this, Councillor Flowers, go down, mate.
With the interest, is that have we got that locked in, or is that on a sliding block for interest that we're collecting?
Yeah, so the interest received, we've got that spread over 3 balances at the moment, and we reinvest those as they are due, and do an analysis of which institution can do the best rates at the time, and plan that through the investments through when we require cash flow.
Yep. No worries, thank you.
No further questions? A mover and a second that they be noted. Thanks, Deputy Mayor. Seconded, Councillor Dabner. No debate there. I'll put the motion. Those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Senior Management Report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I'll take the report as read. I'll just cover some highlights, noting my own meetings and appointments, some of which are shared, of course, with the Mayor. A meeting that I held with the Agritas Board, we had a short strategy session trying to come to some general understanding around their future direction, and I'm very pleased that that has now led to a form of strategy session being developed with some external support people for the Agritas Board. So it's great for such a great organisation or a great asset to the community for that to have some real strategic focus to it moving forward. The other points of note were few in fact have been mirrored already in previous conversations about the Mayor's Own meetings. The proposed new event meeting on the 11th of March in Stanley, just in case there's any kind of mystery surrounding this. This is intended to actually be quite a high-profile event. I've been working with the Circular Head Tourism Association to put together a new kind of high-profile annual event. So more news to come on that. And the fantastic thing is that I've gone into it with very much the intention that it's not a Stanley-centric event, that it is the benefits of it will be shared by businesses throughout the whole of Circular Head. So watch this space, and I'll continue to bring you up to date on what that would mean. And moving into the wider community space, Feel Good February was another great success. Harmony in the Park, the men's health event is coming up on the 27th of March. The Youth Week is happening from the 16th to the 23rd of April. And there are some other points of note, including the Youth Advisory Council. We're currently advertising for additions to the Youth Voice Network. And in the infrastructure space, some brilliant work been done by our engineering and our depot teams on across our roading and pathway infrastructure. I invite any comments that you might have. Any questions?
Councillor Flowers?
Yeah, what was it? Building Advisory Group, how's it still going along well?
Yeah, it's actually receiving some very positive feedback from its members. Mayor Joe, you'll attest. There was a comment at the last one who basically said, "I don't know what you're doing, but there's a real difference being realised by the trades."
Yep.
So I think we're certainly heading in the right direction. There's a lot of work still to be done. It's not something that we're just sitting on our hands with just because we've had one or two positive comments, but it's certainly indicating that it's going to be bearing fruit in the longer term.
Yep, no, that's good. Thank you.
Yes, Councillor Horn?
Rules, the regional tourism strategy meeting, what was that about, and can you report on that, please?
Absolutely. The regional tourism strategy is a collective approach towards how we think about tourism and tourism infrastructure, and this was including, in fact, the GMs from Warrington Wynyard and Burney. We came together with representatives of our various exec teams in Wynyard. We discussed a commitment to developing a joint strategy, which is borderless in nature, because the reality is tourists to our region don't care where one council area starts and another one ends. So it was really taking that kind of approach, but it will actually inform a wider piece specifically for Circular Head, where we'll start to look at our own tourism infrastructure needs. What I mean by that is, what are the areas of investment that we might need moving forward into things like parks, campsites, and the things that we know our tourists are actually attracted to. So it's a really important piece of work. I remember a conversation very early on with Councillor Flowers, who expressed an ongoing frustration with having strategies sitting on a shelf and let's turn things into action. This is one of those things that I'm very confident will actually turn things into action. So I've certainly taken heed from what our conversations have been, Councillor, and the rest of you, to make sure whatever we're doing has a meaningful outcome associated with it.
Supplementary question, was any discussion amongst the three of you sort of looking at the benefits of Western Explorer?
I think it wasn't actually in that forum. In that forum, I raised the issue of making accessibility along our roading network, particularly the Bass Highway, more attractable for tourists and those utilising that major piece of infrastructure. So it wasn't the Western Explorer in particular, because in a world where money was no object, I'd love to see the widening of the Bass Highway all the way through to Smithton. And I certainly got on my soapbox on it more than a couple of times. That said, I have had a conversation with the Tarkine Progress Group about the Western Explorer. But the reality is we've got to balance something of huge aspiration like the Western Explorer along all of the other challenges that we're facing. And as the table will have heard today, we're obviously seeing major increases in costs across our voting network, and I think we need to choose wisely moving forward.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Can I have a move and a second that that report be noted, please? Thanks, Deputy Mayor. Second, Councillor Flowers. No debate, I'll put the motion. Those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. 9.4, there's a couple of lots of meeting there. The Central Outdoor Area Management Committee, and the Swirl January brief. I'll invite any questions or comments. Thanks, Councillor Oldacre.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I rise to raise a point with some of these committees. We haven't been seeing some of their minutes come here, and that might just be, it might be people change and don't understand where they've got to send it to. You know, I had one the other day where they thought they were sending it to the right place. I said, well, it's probably not, but talk to Deb, so that make sure that we're getting all those minutes for us to see, and it gives everybody the opportunity to see what's going on around the community.
Absolutely, Councillor. I can certainly follow that up, make sure that committees are reminded to send them through in a prompt and timely manner.
And so that they've got the right email.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thanks, Councillor Oldacre. Any further comments or questions? If not, can I have a move and a second? Thanks, Councillor Oldacre. Seconded, Councillor Dabner. No debate, I'll put the motions. Those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. I now need a move and a second that we, by absolute majority, cover the matters listed in the closed meeting. Councillor,
Are we covering public correspondence?
where was that?
9.4.1.
Sorry. Just a moment. I think it looks like I might have missed something.
Yes, please.
9.4.
Other bodies.
9.4.2 is the letter
That's
from
right.
Tasmania Police,
Sorry, I missed that.
page 66.
Page 6. I'll get down a minute. Sorry, page 66, 9.4.2.
Letter to you.
Just noting a letter from the Tasmania Police in relation to crime figures and offences. There, so can we have a move and a second they be noted, please? Thanks, Councillor Collins. Second, Deputy Mayor. Don't think we've got any debate on that, we're just noting the matter, so I'll put the motion. Those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you, Paul. We'll now move back to, by absolute majority, consider the matters listed in closed session. I think I had Councillor Hine. Did you move it? Yep. And seconded. Deputy Mayor, put the motion. Those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. And now we need to resolve. Deputy Mayor, put the motion. Those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried.